Okay, and we are live. Good morning, everyone. 4 people, 5 people. Okay, people are joining. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. We are back to another interesting workshop once again with my friend Joe with the Thirdweb. Hello, everyone.
Hello, hello. I am so glad to be here with you again, Nidhi.
Likewise. I'm sorry. So, yeah, it has not even been 1 minute yet. Okay, people are joining. We will be waiting for 2 minutes so people don't miss the things.
Yeah, we want to make sure we get as many people in here before we get started. So
Yeah, definitely. Because we are doing for them and we need them here.
exactly, exactly.
Let
Without you
me,
all, go ahead.
yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, without everyone who joins these workshop sessions and comes
Yeah,
in to learn, right? Like we're all about spreading awareness and how people can get into Web3. So we need you all to come in, and we love to teach you. So without the audience, we wouldn't be here. So thank you all, everyone, for sharing your time with us today. It is very, very much appreciated.
definitely. We really appreciate it that you guys are joining. And yeah, we are actually doing this for you, for our community, for
Absolutely.
our devs. So definitely, we would love that as many people as join. So we do have, I think we have done three or a four workshops with Thirdweb, right? Maybe,
Yeah, yeah, we've done quite a few already, and so
yeah,
just another. Every time we do them, we get more and more people onboarded, and it's always
yeah,
such a great thing to see.
definitely. So yeah, we have doing workshops like every week, and we try to do it either on Thursday or Friday on the same time. So we have done quite few, I mean 3 or 4, I'm not sure, but which is available on the YouTube as well as on the X. But finding on YouTube will be super easy, as you can see it on a past streams, I guess. Yeah.
Exactly.
So feel free to go there and check our previous workshop with the third web, which was really interesting. And we had one Telegram mini app as well. So which was really interesting and exciting that time. Okay. So I would like to introduce us. My name is Nidhi Nakrani. Good morning. We welcome you all here, and we're really excited, super excited to have you on this workshop on Thursday. My name is Nidhi Nakrani. I'm the DevRel Associate at Metis, and we have the job from Thirdweb as a solution engineer. And yeah, we are going to discuss and we are going to have like a quick live demo as well on the wallet integration with the Thirdweb on the Metis. So, how much excited are you, Joe, for this one?
So this is the cool part about this, and what makes me so excited about this session is that this is where everything starts, right? This is where
Yeah,
everyone can learn about, hey, let's create some wallets. Let's figure out how do we get started with Web3? How do we get started in blockchain? How do we connect people? So this is where it all begins, guys. This is the perfect session for you to be a part of, and I'm excited. I am so excited to be here.
likewise me. So, can we start now? I think we do have enough people and people are joining. Still, people are joining. So,
Sure, yeah, we can go ahead and get started if you'd like.
yeah,
Um, yeah, cool. So my name is Joe, and as Needy mentioned, I am a solutions engineer here at Thirdweb, and I'm going to be walking through a little bit about our tech stack and what it takes to kind of get started and walk through. As I mentioned at the very beginning, we are going to be talking about wallets today. Today is going to be all about how we connect users, how do we interact with our blockchain through a account structure, right? So such as wallets that are very common. If you are new, if you are totally brand new to the world of Web3, to the world of wallets and accounts, don't worry. We are going to be going over from the very beginning exactly everything you need to know to get through this. So buckle up. Let's go ahead and get started. Hello, Dusa. I see you in the chat. Welcome, welcome.
yeah. Welcome, welcome.
Let me go ahead and present my screen here, sharing my presentation here with you, as well as some code snippets a little bit later on. So let me go ahead and get this full screen. Cool. So let me hide this. Hello, again, we are with Thirdweb today and partnering with Metis to deliver this workshop. Real quick, what is Thirdweb? We are a full stack open source Web3 development platform. This means you guys can come to us as a single source for front end, back end, and anything on chain in regards to your development. So we have everything it takes to get you from end to end, from contracts to wallets, which we'll be talking about today, and back end transactions through Engine. We've done quite a few workshops with Metis already, and even with code snippets showcasing each of these buckets, right? So if you have any questions or wants even more code demos, feel free to refer to those workshops that we've done with Metis in the past. So that way you guys can get even more information and even be in a state where you're even more readily available to start your Web3 journey or just extend your current one. So be sure to check out those previous live streams as well. And so on to today's topic, wallets, right? Wallets in Web3. If you are a user, you know that wallets are probably a quote unquote buzzword that you guys see. It's a core tenet, it's a core principle in blockchain and Web3 in general. So, you're going to hear a lot about it. You're going to interact with a lot of wallets. Your users are going to interact with a lot of wallets. You guys need wallet solutions. You guys need ways to create wallets, to transact with wallets, all of these kinds of things. And so, let's get to the very basics. We are friendly to new beginners here, right? These workshops are for young and old, inexperienced and seasoned veterans of Web3. So what are Web3 wallets, right? What what is this concept when people come in and say, "Hey, I want to get started in Web3. What's a wallet?" So wallets at its core, right? You're going to see a bunch of different implementations. You can think of wallets as a kind of gateway, as a passway into blockchain. If you're familiar with physical wallets, right? Physical wallets hold things like your ID. That would be account data. They hold things like your money, right? Your currency. That would be your tokens in your wallet structure. And so a wallet, plain and simple, is just it's a user's way of interacting with the blockchain, right? It's their passport into blockchain interactions. It is their gateway into transacting on blockchain. So at its core, just think of it as a digital version of your physical wallet. It can hold account information such as like your physical wallet holds your ID cards, right? So it can identify you as a user, and it can also hold some assets. For example, in my wallet right now, I actually have some stickers, right? I have some stickers that I have in my wallet, and so you can think of those as your NFTs. So, um, not only can your wallet hold your ID information, it can hold token information like NFTs or any other assets that you might purchase, and then again, it can also hold your currency as well that you can use to purchase assets. You can use to transact on blockchains, things like that. So, if you ever get confused on what a Web3 wallet is, what is a blockchain wallet? Just remember it is a digital version of your physical wallet that you might carry around with you on a day-to-day basis. And that will get you into a good space on how you can explain it and how you can start thinking about wallets in Web. And so wallets, as I mentioned, not only are they a way to interact with the blockchain, but these things can be used to store, send, and receive blockchain assets, right? So as I mentioned earlier, in my physical wallet, right? My physical, this is a fake leather bound wallet that I have here. I can use it to send currency, right? I can take out my cash and I can give it to another individual and they can put it in their wallet, right? Um, I can do things like, hey, I can take out some of these like sticker cards that I have in my wallet, right? And I can send these to another individual. I can hand them over, right? This and the digital version of this would be NFTs, right? So, or like game passes, or ERC 721 tokens, ERC 755 tokens, right? For those who are a little bit more seasoned, those are the kinds of things that we can send over. And then finally, ERC 20 tokens. So that's the actual currency that I have, right? So like the cash value in my wallet, I can take it out and I can send it to someone. Exact same thing with our digital versions, our Web3 wallets. and ERC20 tokens, right? If you look at any of these blockchains, you'll see like Ethereum has ETH token. That's their currency. Metis on the testnet has T Metis, right? So that is your token that you'll be using for transacting. You can send that between wallets as well, and you're good to go. So again, I hope that analogy really helps resonate with you all. If you have any questions, again, we are in the chat. Feel free to post them in the chat, and I'm happy to answer them. This is a much more interactive session that you guys might be used to. So, any questions, feel free to
Yeah,
post them in the chat.
yeah, definitely. Like, if anything goes around like in mind while watching this, feel free to drop the comments or questions in the comment box.
Absolutely, absolutely. Cool. So, here we have a little bit of a video that I'll show, and it's going to go through a little bit of one of our wallet types here. And why, why it's important. You can see some of the things here. We have over 500 supported EOA wallets. An EOA wallet is like your MetaMask, your Coinbase. You can use our plugins to have custom flows built in, right? You can see all of these different options are very custom to the app, which is good because it means you guys don't have to have a single wallet UI or interface for all of this stuff, right? Ecosystem wallets are another one that we'll go through here. But as you can see, each one of these wallet types, right, that we see through can be totally customized. It can be totally branded towards your application, and it can be utilized in different ways, either through right direct embeds or directly or web apps or what have you. And as you saw in the video, one of the things that I really like is this portion here, right? So here we can see on the left-hand side, very traditional wallets that if you are a Web3 veteran, you're aware of, right? We see things like MetaMask, Wallet Connect, Magic Wallets, email. This means that we can actually support a whole host of different login methods and a whole host of already existing wallets. So let's kind of step back a little bit and think about what's an EOA, right? So an EOA wallet is some wallet provider that some team, some development company has gone out and created for us. So here I have this wallet is actually by Levi Strauss. Is this wallet my physical wallet, right? You might have different wallets by other designers, that you might have done and branded your way, right? So think of these EOA wallets as the different wallet types and the different designers, like your physical wallets, right? So essentially, they all allow you to do some of the same core functionality. They all allow you to send transactions. They all allow you to store assets on their wallet service. And what is beautiful about this system is that you allow users to choose which interface they want to interact with. And if you want your users to interact with your own, guess what? You can do that through either email, phone numbers, things like that as well through Thirdweb. So one of the cool things that I like about this video is that here on this screen, we actually, as you see, we're showing, hey, here is some of the kind of out of the box, most popular other wallet providers, right? So when you think about wallets, you can remember, okay, I have my out of the box wallets and I also have the ability to create my own wallet. So here on this UI, you see this is how we support out of the box. Then as we go through, we actually see a shift here, like here, right? So here we see, oh, this is actually a traditional email password. This is something that a traditional Web 2 user, and by Web 2, we're meaning anyone who really isn't interacting with the blockchain, right? They might not be as familiar with seed phrases, pass keys, or not pass keys, seed phrases, and the 12 key phrase.
Private key?
Private key. Yes. Thank
Yeah.
you, Nidhi. Private keys. You see, even I, who've been in it for almost 5 years now, have still get tripped up. And so as we come and we think about how do we onboard users and we think about wallets as as a as a subject, as a topic on this, how do we the challenge is how do we get Web 2 users to come in and buy into this wallet idea, right? And so one way is let's just give them a UI that is very familiar. So in this case, email and password. I'm pretty sure everyone here used an email and password combination or some variation to log into the apps where you're watching the stream on, right? So you are already familiar with this flow and you're already familiar with this kind of authentication. And it's something that you can bring into Web3 as well. So really, really cool and powerful things here when we think about wallets and how we kind of bridge the gap between Web3 and Web2. Oop, get out of that video here. So, how does it help, right? I'm pretty sure at this point, I hope everyone has a better understanding of wallets. Again, think of a wallet as your physical wallet. It's the exact same thing in blockchain in Web3. It is this wallet is just a digital version of that, right? So, how does this help? What are some of the use cases here? So, wallets help us do a couple things. They help us simplify user onboarding, right? If we didn't have a wallet system, then every transaction would have to be manually created. Every single anytime I wanted to go look at my account at an NFT, I would have to remember the transaction hash for it. I would have to remember the token ID, the contract address, and I would have to go to the contract itself, look up the token ID, and tell people, yeah, that's my asset, even though I don't have a wallet showcasing it, right? I'd have to remember all of this stuff separately. And so a wallet helps us have all of that in one place. Now, wallets are also cool, especially here at Thirdweb, in that we can support multiple login methods, right? So as I shown you earlier, we have the options for users to log in through traditional EOAs, right? If they've already purchased a wallet from their favorite designer, they can use that to log in. Or you can even have users log in through traditional methods that they might be used to on Web 2, username and password, right? Through custom authentication, which is also available in our tech stack. So that is another great benefit here. And wallets, as you know, are multi chain support. What does this mean and how does this link to that wallet, the physical wallet analogy? So this wallet, right? This wallet, I am currently in the States, in the United States. So that means that my currency is the US dollar. But that doesn't mean I can only have the US dollar in here. Maybe I have another chain and I'm going to Canada or Australia, right? And I want to be able to support their currencies. That is the same idea here with wallets, is that not only are you tied into a single chain, some wallets, yes, they are very chain specific and we'll get into why that might be and how you can actually create a very similar kind of flow. But for the most part, you're gonna see and you're gonna recognize that users who are coming in from Web3, they want this multi-chain support. They want this ability to transact with multiple currencies, look at their assets across multiple applications, chains, what have you. And so most of the wallets that you guys are interacting with and dealing with are going to have this level of support. And then so finally, we have scoping types. Now, a scoping type is a little bit interesting in that you can have wallets. It's very similar to multi-chain support. You can have wallets that if a user logs into application A, they have one wallet. If the same user logs into application B, they have a totally different wallet. Very, very useful if you guys are building applications that where ecosystems don't cross whatsoever. So an example, maybe you have a book a library book reading app, right? And you just store people's bookmarks on chain, you store their reading history on chain, and you don't want that associated with the totally different app that you have, maybe DeFi prediction markets, right? You don't have that kind of crossover just yet. You want to keep it separate. You can do that with scoping. And so if we go back to the wallet analogy, scoping is like, hey, if I am a user and I have my wallet, right? I can also have a totally different wallet, right? Just a totally different wallet in a different app, right? So I use this wallet to go buy groceries, to go buy and pay bills, whereas I use this wallet to go maybe at a casino, right? Um, that is going to be your multiple scoping types of wallets. Now, the other option is, well, let's just make it easier and let's have a user. use the same wallet that they use for groceries, and let's also have them be able to use that wallet. So here I have it on the back end. Use that wallet also for their fun and adventure casino trips, right? This is a option that a lot of people find helpful, especially new users find helpful, for they don't have to go to different wallets to look at all their assets. They don't have to go to different wallets to look at all of the transactions that might be coming through. It's all a single wallet, and again, it's all going to be customized and supported on your own use case and what you want to support. Both of these options are available through Thirdweb, and we'll go through a little bit on the wallet types and how you can support these both of these use cases. Cool. So before going to wallet types, quick check in with everyone watching. Any questions? Anyone who might be a little bit confused on wallets and why they might be useful? I just want to make sure, because once we start getting into wallet types, oh man, we're gonna start having some fun here. Ev-
Yeah,
Everyone's okay. Cool. Cool. And
I think so.
cool. Yeah, and if there's ever any questions, either on, general wallets, our Discord's a great place. The Metis Discord's a great place to come in, ask those questions. A lot of friendly people to come in and help out as well.
Yeah.
And then if you have any burning questions, you can also reach out to us at theweb.com/support, and just general queries. We're always happy to answer them. So let's move forward. Wallet types. As I mentioned, we have a few different wallet types, right? Especially here at Thirdweb, and these types are for different purposes. Some are going to be for different scopes, right? So if you want single apps versus multi apps, some are going to be for if you want a account abstraction or gas sponsorship on your wallet. All of this kinds of things are going to be taken into consideration. So that way you guys can look at it. You can combine different wallet types if you'd like within your app. You can keep them totally separate. Again, you are not locked in to any of these wallets, and you can always make the decision to switch between them as well. So we have three main wallet types here at Thirdweb, not counting EOA. EOA wallets are something that, while we support, these aren't created by us. These aren't something that, you can't come to Thirdweb and say, "Hey, I want to make a MetaMask wallet," right? That's something you'll go through MetaMask, and then you can use that wallet to log in, which we'll go through a little bit in the code demo as well. So three wallet types here, excluding EOAs, and EOAs is just a short version of externally owned wallets, Mr. Board. Just so you know, that's just for you, my friend. EOAs are externally owned wallets, and so here, for Thirdweb, we have three of them, right? We have in-app wallets, smart accounts, and ecosystem wallets. So let's go through each of these types and decide on, okay, how am I
I
going to be looking at
do
these?
have a question. Yeah.
Go ahead.
So we saw, like, I mean, we saw in a previous slide that we have the scoping kind of thing, right? So,
Hmm. Hmm.
I mean, you said that we can merge, like, we can create a one wallet. So, does that mean that we can merge this all three of wallets and create one single wallet using Thirdweb?
Yeah, yeah. So you can,
That's cool.
you can absolutely try and um, find the use case and where the different aspects of each wallet, right? And you'll see it's going to build on themselves a little bit. So you can actually use all of these to have your preferred wallet type. It's not going to be a direct merging of all three types. What's going to happen is you can actually utilize either in-app wallets and smart accounts, or ecosystem wallets and smart accounts, or you can do in-app wallets on app A and ecosystem wallets on app B. So that way within your same client ID, you have two different wallet types, but your user only sees the wallet type you want them to see, right? So you can actually mix and match, customize all of these wallets as you build out your applications. Great, great, great question. And so let's go into a little bit on these wallet types, right? In-app wallets. What is an in-app wallet? What does this look like in the context of Web3? In-app wallets are at its core very simple. You might also know this from, if you've been in Web3 for a while, you might also recognize these as embedded wallets. That was kind of the verbiage that was flowing around in the Web3 space for a while. At Thirdweb, Here we call them in-app wallets, and this is any wallet that is created on the user's behalf. This means that we are not going through any EOAs such as MetaMask, Coinbase Wallet, any of the other 500 plus providers that we support to get this wallet created. This means a user who logs into this application is going to have the wallet created by Thirdweb. But guess what? They still are in control of all their private keys. They still are. This is still a non-custodial wallet, and the user at any time can export their private keys or go into a different wallet if they so choose. So this in-app wallet, again, it is a wallet created on behalf of the user depending on a login method, right? So we actually have quite a few, as you can see here, options for out of the box login methods. And this means that you don't have to do anything too crazy for generating these wallets, for creating these wallets outside of specifying, hey, do I want a in-app wallet? If so, what is the authentication flow I want to do? Do I want to do Gmail? Do I want to do Discord, Twitch, GitHub, Coinbase, right? You can choose here exactly what your login method flow should be and how you want your users to be able to authenticate into in-app wallets. Now, in-app wallets, as you mentioned before, we're kind of thinking about scoping, right? So in-app wallets, this is a wallet type in where a user who logs into your app will have a wallet address specific to your application. And this is an important concept to get your mind around because if you have a multitude of apps shown as example in this image, 3 different apps, right? And you want your users to log in, you use in-app wallets on each of these apps. What you'll notice is that each of these apps will have a different wallet address, right? So for app 1, we have OX99, etc. App 2, we have OF56, and wallet on app 3, we have 0743, right? So different wallet addresses for each app, even though the user signed in with the exact same auth method, they signed in with the exact same account. And this is by design. This is on purpose. So um, this is the instance in where you want to isolate your users, right? Again, sometimes you don't want to associate wallets between 2 different applications that you might be building out. Sometimes you don't want your users who are on your book app to be associated with the same wallet as your prediction market app, right? So um, and these are all choices by design. These are all design choices that you guys can make. These are all things that you guys can look into and scope out yourselves. So when you're looking at in-app wallets, just remember that hey, if I have multiple applications and I have no intention of having them shared, I have no intention of allowing my users to transfer assets from one app to another app, right, to be used. So for example, maybe um, I don't want my users to on the prediction market to know the books that I've read or to know the bookmarks I have or to know my reading list, right? There really isn't a connection there unless the prediction market is about, hey, are you going to read book XYZ? Or, hey, is this user going to read this number of books this year? Right. Things like that. So when you're thinking about wallet types, scoping, in app wallets, again, are isolated wallets. This means that I have one wallet for app 1, one wallet for app 2, and a totally separate wallet for app 3. In the world of Thirdweb, there are some things that are shared. For example, payment methods and KYC verification. And this is just so that users have a easier experience, right? So even though they log into all of these separate apps, if they've gone through and set up KYC for Thirdweb Pay, which we've talked a little bit about in previous workshops, you can go ahead and check those out as well. They don't have to redo it, right? This means that they're not going to get upset with your suite of apps that they have to re-enter information over and over. It makes it a little bit of an easier experience. So that is the only thing that you would see shared. At its core, just remember in-app wallet scoping are individual apps. They're scoped to the app itself. And so that means all currencies, all assets, and all account information is going to be tied to the wallet app and not the wallet itself. Just as a key point. And so moving on to the next type, we're talking about ecosystem wallets. Now, ecosystem wallets are the exact opposite of in-app wallets, right? So, as we mentioned, in-app wallets are where a user comes in, logs in with one of their auth methods, and then a wallet's generated and it's scoped to a single application. Ecosystem wallets, guess what? A user can come in, they can log in with your desired auth method, and then it's scoped to your entire suite of apps. And how does this work? How does this happen, right? So, in-app wallets, we're generating a wallet per login for the user, whereas ecosystem wallets, we're generating a wallet on your ecosystem wallet account. So this is very much easier to see like on a page like this. For example, when you guys log into Web3 apps, right? For everyone who's a Web3 veteran, you guys are logging into the app to these apps, you'll see things like, hey, I want to connect with my MetaMask. Hey, I want to connect with my Coinbase. I want to connect with XYZ EOA wallet. With ecosystem wallets, what you guys are able to do is you can become your own wallet provider, and then you can use this wallet to come into your application and have your user sign in. So now the account, the user's wallet is not tied to the app, but rather tied to the ecosystem wallet that you've all
Ecosystem.
created. So that's great, right? So like as you see here in the
Yeah,
background, we have 4 different apps. This means that the user will actually be tied the same wallet across all of these apps. So if you remember in this first screen, right, within apps, you can see the silos here. App 1, app 2, app 3, each application has a different wallet. Ecosystem wallets, if you look at the top here at this example login, right, user at example.com, say they come in, they log in on app 1, guess what? They have wallet 0743. You come in on app 2, guess what? They have the same wallet 0743, and app 3, right? You can have as many or as little apps as you'd like. The user would still be logged in to that same wallet address. And so here is where we start seeing some interesting use cases. So for example, we were talking about that kind of book app and the prediction market app. If I wanted to combine these and I wanted to allow my users on the prediction market app to say, "Hey, you know what? I think I'm gonna read 20 books this year." Well, you're gonna need access to all of the assets and all of the information from your book app, right? So that and ecosystem wallets are gonna make that connection so much simpler and stronger. So now you don't have to say, "Okay, with in-app wallets, right? If I wanted that connection, let's say app 2 is my prediction and app 1 is my book reading. If I wanted to get all of this information in app 2, I would have to have my user, okay, I need you to tell me your account for the book. I need you to once you tell me that account, then I can go in and I can read in my account information. Then I can go in and I can read all of the books that you've read, all of the bookmarks you have, and what have you. In ecosystem wallet's case, I don't have to go and say, hey, link an account. I already have the account because I, the user who logged in through ecosystem wallets, am the same account as the user who will logged in through your book app. So this is how you can start seeing some very, very powerful connections and very powerful use cases pop up through ecosystem wallets. So remember, as you start going through wallets and you start thinking about, okay, I have, if I'm a user and I have a whole bunch of apps in mind on my chain, on my business, on my ecosystem, and I want all my users to have one wallet for all my apps, ecosystem wallets. If you're a kind of developer and you're like, you know what, I'm developing on a chain like Metis, and yes, I have different apps, but I don't really want them connected to each other. Great, use in-app wallets, right? There is always a use case, and there is always a discussion point around in-app wallets as well as ecosystem wallets. So there's no right way. There's no better answer. What we find is that the bigger the company, the bigger the type of development environment, they usually tend towards ecosystem wallets. And these are things like gaming chains. Zai is a big one through Zai Connect. It's an ecosystem wallet. So this means that anytime a user logs into any of their games, they have the same wallet, right? if we start seeing developers who are maybe coming out with maybe some commemorative NFTs, right? Or maybe some just kind of like fun art that they're selling, or maybe I've actually seen some poetry slams that happen on Web3 as well. These are usually in-app wallets. These are usually one-off events where they have no intention of connecting it to a broader ecosystem. And so what we see is we have a lot of users who use our connect button to come in and use those in-app wallets for those one-off events. So it's really all about your preference. It's all about what use cases you want to be able to support, whether you choose in-app wallets or ecosystem wallets. Cool. We're good there. Everyone understand the difference?
Yep.
Great. Great.
And I do see one question, but that we
Mhm.
can yeah, discuss it later.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So what about smart accounts? Right. As I looked at the initial wallet types, Joe, you said there's three. You have in-app wallets, you have ecosystem wallets, and you have something called smart accounts. Right before this workshop, we had one that dove very, very deep into account abstraction. And so that is going to come into play when we talk about smart accounts. But at its core, when we think about smart accounts, think of it as a wallet that is based on a smart contract, right? Smart contract, smart account, very similar. And so any functions, any transactions you do are going to be executed from this smart contract instead of the wallet itself. Pretty simple, right? And why smart accounts? Scoping is going to be dependent on the parent wallet. So if you can have smart accounts on in-app wallets, and you can have smart accounts on ecosystem wallets. And the beauty is, depending on which one you use, you're going to inherit that level of scoping, right? So you can have a user because smart accounts are tied to their parent account, right? To an admin account. This means that their scoping is the same level as well. So you can have a user come in, log into an in-app wallet, and then you, as the developer, can create a smart account on behalf of that user. So again, smart accounts are contract based. That if you have any sort of special functionality you want to include on a contract, you can include it. So, for example, say, hey, anytime a user has a transaction through my wallet, I want to reward that user. I want to give them a little bit of an ERC20 token, so that way they feel rewarded in using my app, my transaction list, what have you, right? Whatever you decide the action for reward is. You can use smart accounts for that. You can create your own contract, your own account factory, so that anytime a user sends, receives, purchases uh, anything with that account, they get a little bit of your reward token, right? So that is smart accounts. Again, this is going to tie into a whole host of other features with account abstraction. Account abstraction is only possible through smart accounts, and it is a topic that I don't want to get too in depth here because we have had that session before. But it is something that lets you do a whole host of things like gas sponsorship, do batch transactions, session key management, and multi-chain support through smart accounts as well, which is really, really helpful. So if you have any kind of questions and you guys want to look into that, feel free to reference that previous workshop so that way we can go through and and talk a little bit about it. Cool. So we're going to test this out, right? We've talked about a few accounts. Let me go ahead and find the correct notepad here that I have. That's all right. That's a throwaway key. Don't need that. There we go. So here we have our playground links, right? So I'm actually going to put this here for Nidhi to share.
Yep.
And then I'll show you, we're going to go through real quick on exactly what that looks like. So if I were to go to that link, you'll be seeing something like this. Now, this is our playground. This is exactly what it sounds like. It is the ability for you all to go in and look at, hey, how do I create some of these accounts for these login flows, these wallets. How do I mess around with the in-app wallets that we see here, EOA wallets, right? How do I support these wallets? How do I do things like create smart accounts, right? So that way I can use sponsor gas and create um, and create a smart account based on login method. You can, as you can see here on the left hand side, we got in-app wallets. We have ways to show headlessly how all of this is done. Really, really great place for you all to kind of dive in and look at some of the options here. So, real quick overview. If you are new to coding, guess what? This is going to be your best friend because you can actually click on this code button here and it will tell you exactly how to insert this wallet into your application. You can see here that I have a couple of different auth flows, right? So I can do things like, hey, I don't want to support Telegram. If I get rid of that, guess what? It's removed. Say I don't want Google. You can see it even easier. It's removed.
This
Oh,
is amazing.
yeah, yeah. So you can say, hey, you know what? My mistake, I actually do want Google. Click it, it's back for you, and you can actually just copy and paste. And so you can do the same thing with your EOA accounts. Remember, so we talked about the kind of ethereal fourth wallet type, the EOAs. That while Thirdweb doesn't create these wallets for the user, it does allow you to use them if you'd like. So you can actually do things like, hey, MetaMask, right? Rainbow Kit, right? As I click through these, you can see whether I want to support it or not. Here, it's yes, I want to support MetaMask, and if I decide nope, I don't want to, it's gone, easy peasy. And you guys can copy and paste this directly into your code as well. So, just wanted to share that playground with you. It is a super helpful resource. It's something I think everyone here should go through. You don't have to create an account. You don't have to put in a credit card. You can click that link, and you are well on your way to testing out Thirdweb Connect products super, super easily. And so here, we also have our docs, right? Let me go ahead and send these as well. Our docs are going to be immensely, immensely helpful for anyone who is ready to start jumping in and ready to start developing. Let's go ahead and show what that looks like as well. So, for example, do this one. I like this page. So the link that I sent is going to send you here. And what it's going to do is it's going to talk to you again. You can see the playground, but it's going to walk you through a little bit about our wallets and our connect component, which allows you to create these wallets, right? So here we have things like, hey, how do I get started? We'll go through that in this code demo a little bit here. What are some of the sign in methods I have? If I want to do it through TypeScript, React Native for mobile applications, .NET, Unity, Unreal, right? All of these things can be done through your uh, through our SDKs, and the docs is going to be the place you can go to look at to see some of these flows and options. Now, not only can you see in-app wallets, but you can also see set up for ecosystem wallets, which I will go through a little bit on our dashboard as well, so you can see that configuration and you can see what that might look like. Um, and then the one thing I will do is that not only do we have all of these, but we recently just acquired a company called Web3 Onboard. So for anyone who is using Web3 Onboard already, guess what? It is now going to be merged into Thirdweb. And so you guys can start looking into look forward to kind of this integration process with another wallet provider, which means more options for your users and more support across the board. So really, really great stuff happening there. And so cool. That is all of our kind of basics wallets. Now I'm gonna do a little tiny code demo, and I mean, this is going to again, we've kind of gone through all of these concepts before, and so I want to go through a little bit about. Okay, great, Joe, you have sold me on wallets. I understand everything I need, and so now I want to see how can I start getting started with some of this. How can I start working with some? So one, you need to go to your dashboard. Right, you need to go and look at um your Thirdweb dashboard, thirdweb.com, create an account, and you're gonna create a project. In this instance, I've created this Metis wallet demo project. And so I can do things like, okay, if I were to click onto this demo, guess what? We are going to get a link onto to a link to our docs that showcase how we can start integrating. But we're also going to have this tab here called Connect. And so if I were to click on this tab, we can see, okay, in-app wallets. And I can see analytics like, hey, how many users do I have? How many people have been logging in, etc. for in-app wallets. So for in-app wallets, let's say I have this application here, right? And I want to build out this connect component, right? This is a very simple button. If I were to click on it, we have all of these options here. This is just out of the box again. And remember, in-app wallets are anything that have. So we can do things like, hey, Gmail, email address, phone numbers, what have you. What does that look like in code? Now, once we've gone through, let me actually get rid of that because we don't need it anymore. Once we've gone through and we've created our project, if we click on the settings tab, I'm actually going to copy my client ID, right? So client ID front facing, again, all this demo is going to be deleted at the end of this anyways. So I'm okay with showcasing it. Your secret key, you want to make sure that you don't show it for anyone. And then when you create these IDs, make sure that you are saving it in a secret place so that way you are able to use any backend operations if needed. So I've gotten my client ID, and so now let me bring in this application here. So what's going on here? Real quick, what does this look like? What's happening? If we look at our code base, right? Real quick, all I did is do I believe npm thirdweb is for installation, and then we also have an npx create. So if you guys are used to creating React apps through a create template, you can do npx create thirdweb, and it will actually build out this structure already for you. And it is my opinion, it is one of the easiest way to get started. A single command line, and you guys can go ahead and get started using all of this. Really, really cool, really, really simple. So for our um, client ID, right, we actually have a flow, right? If you're familiar using tooling from other individuals, you know that API keys help us with access and usage. So if I want to create that in-app wallet for a user, very first thing I need to do is I need to make a client, and I need to put my client ID into that flow. So that way, any transaction that goes through the Thirdweb provider, anything that goes through my app using Thirdweb, I have the proper credentials and clarifications for it. Right? Again, client IDs are meant for front-facing apps. You don't want to share them with other people, but this is just a demo app. I don't really care about it right now. Again, I'm going to delete this application at the end anyways. So you can go through, look at this, input your client ID into this client.ts file. Again, if you use npx web create, it's going to auto generate these files, and all you have to do is copy and paste your specific client ID for this project. And once you do that, how do we start looking at the in-app wallet flow, right? So here on my main page, right, which is what we see in this app, right? So here we can see things like here's our connect button. Here we have some docs and stuff that we have, but the connect button is really what we're interested in. How do I get that? How do I create it? And as you can see in my demo here, in this code snippet, very simple. All you have to do is type in connect button, this component, pass in your client that we created, right? So if I go up here to my import section, I've actually imported my client. Again, all of this is already auto filled out for you so that way you can see it. And then I can say, okay, what chain am I working on? In this case, I want to work with Metis testnet. So that way, when a user logs in, they are automatically going to be on this chain. And so let's try it out. If I were to hit connect, right? And let's say, hey, I want to connect with my Gmail account. So let's go ahead and have it pop up. I'm going to hit connect. And boom, I have signed in. I now have a wallet tied to my user application, right? My user has logged in through email. And so if I were to click this, you can actually see my email here. You can actually see that it's used as um, as a wallet, right? As a my authentication flow was this in-app wallet. So you can actually see that it's a in-app wallet with a particular authentication. Cool. A couple cool things you can do with this, right? So now we're talking about wallets in a little bit more in depth. You can see, hey, here is my chain that I'm working with. You can see a list of transactions that I've done. You can view funds. Again, I can look at the currencies I have. And then I have this button here called Manage Wallet. So this Manage Wallet one, I can do things like export my private key. Remember, we're not when we create in-app wallets, these are non-custodial, and this means that your users can export them. I can link profiles. So if I were to click link to profile, I can actually introduce a different auth method to this wallet. So, for example, if I want to say, hey, I want to sign in through that email, but I also want to be able to sign in through a phone number, right? I can add my phone number here. And so if I were to ever lose access to that email, I can still access this wallet through my phone number. Really, really powerful stuff, and especially for
Yeah.
account recovery. Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
You don't as you
Yeah.
notice, no one had to look at private keys, no one had to look at
Yeah.
seed phrases. Very, very powerful
This
for
is
users.
I mean, this is actually very useful for the projects that, onboarding Web 2 users.
Exactly.
So they don't have to, uh, play with MetaMask private key,
Yep.
create account, and save the secret keys, that 12 phrases secret keys and all.
Exactly.
So yeah, they can do the same exact thing, uh, the way they do in the Web 2, Web 2, like they just click on the Google sign in and
Yep.
doing the same thing and still getting the wallets, Web 3
Exactly.
wallets, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, you hit it. That's exactly why we built it, right?
Yeah.
Again, one of the core tenets of wallets is to simplify user experience. We want onboarding to be a little bit easier, especially in Web3. Web3 is already kind of complex enough for people who are coming in. Let's make
Yeah.
it as simple as we can, right?
Definitely.
So this is just one way to do that. So another thing that we want to talk about is okay, cool. I know that I'm logged into my Gmail account. I know that it's on Metis. It's an in-app wallet. Cool. What about if I wanted a smart account? What if I wanted to change this wallet into a smart account? What does that look like in my application? So I'm actually going to disconnect here so that we have this fresh screen. We're going to come back into our application. And so here we're going to say, okay, we have our connect button, but we also want smart accounts. And remember, smart accounts are an addition, they're an add-on to the other wallet types. So I can actually do this account abstraction, and then I'm going to pass in. If we hover over this, it's actually going to tell us, right? So for account abstraction, we need a factory address, a chain, and specify whether we are sponsoring gas, right? Yes or no. Factory address, I'm just going to use the default so I can actually leave that empty. Pretty cool. So I'm actually just going to do chain. Um, and then I'm going to say, hey, the chain is, I want Metis, right? I want to be able to have a smart account on Metis, the testnet. And then do I want to sponsor gas? Right here, I'll say yes, that's fine. And so I'm going to save this code snippet. And so you just saw I just did this change right now. I'm going to go back to my application, just click reload to make sure that I'm actually getting the latest. You should be on the latest once you hit save. We actually utilize a design pattern where you guys don't have to do this every time, right? So once that's compiled, I can actually hit connect, and you notice on those account abstractions, nothing's changed here, right? This is pretty much the same. I'll click sign in once more. I'll sign in on the pop up for my Gmail account, and now when I click into here, you can see that I have still my email, but you notice it's a different wallet address, and two, I have this little shield icon instead of the Google Gmail icon. And so what this means is that this is a smart
What's
account.
the magic happening here?
Exactly. So this means that this is a smart account. This means that now I have my in-app wallet. I have my regular Gmail account that we saw earlier, and it is now tied to this smart contract based account. And so this
Mhm.
wallet, again, I can still link profiles, right? If you notice, I still have my Gmail account to it, linked to this one as well. I can still add different auth methods so that when I log in, it will now log into the smart account. I can still, if you notice, I can still export my private key. I can still do all of these things with my smart account. The only difference now is that because I sponsored gas equal to true, any transactions that go through are now sponsored. Really, really powerful stuff. And so finally, I don't think we'll have enough time for the code snippet, but I do want to go through ecosystem wallets and how that is created.
We do
Ecosystem
have
wallets,
5 minutes.
yeah, ecosystem wallets are really cool. This means that we can go through and these are the multi app, this where the scope is to the wallet and not the app. So in your dashboard, once you create your account, click on this ecosystem tab. And here I've already created one called Metis Wallet. If I wanted to create a new ecosystem, you'll see this page. Make sure you type in the name and a logo. These are very important for creating wallets. Um, and then you can hit create. And then once you've done so, you'll see a page like this, right? So in this instance, I've actually created a Metis ecosystem wallet. And if you notice, we can do things like, okay, through this ecosystem wallet, what are some of the auths I want to be able to make, right? What are some of these, um, the auth values, which is exactly the same as in-app, right? We see Google, we see Facebook, phone numbers, right? These are all things that we saw earlier. I can do things like custom auth. I can actually, instead of in code, do that account abstraction piece. I can just click this button, and guess what? I now have smart accounts for my ecosystem. That's it. All I did was click the button. If I want to sponsor the gas, define the chain, right? In this case, it's the Metis testnet that we're working with, and I can do that. Boom. I'm now sponsoring gas on my testnet with ecosystem wallets. And then so here in this bottom piece is kind of where you define who do you want to access your ecosystem wallet. And this is it where you put all of your apps. If I have 2 or 3 different apps, I can add them here. So for example, hey, I want to we're going to call this the book app, right? What's the domain of the book app? Let's say the domain of the book app is bookapp.com, right? And bundle IDs are for if you are using this with Unity and you want to make games out of it. So you can do that as well. So we're going to go ahead and add that as a partner. And now I get this partner ID, which I can bring my application into my code base to get that ecosystem wallet up and running. So what does that look like? Very, very simple. Here, once you have that ecosystem wallet ID, you can bring it in. This is the name of your app, and then you can put in the partner ID that was created. And then in that connect button, once you add that wallet, you're good to go. You'll see your ecosystem wallet pop up, and you can do that very, very easily. So I know I'm right at time, so I hope you guys are able to kind of learn about the different wallet types. I hope I was able to shed some light on wallets and Web3 in general. So any questions, anything that you guys might still have thoughts around, or how to do something, I'm all ears for you.
Yeah, it was really useful and insightful. Like for, as I said, Web2 developers, like the projects who are onboarding the Web2 developers for those projects, and in even for the Web3, like even we are in the Web3 space, but we
Hmm.
sometimes, feel that it's hectic to create a MetaMask and connect it, and like we have to create like in every browser and all. Like it is really hectic when we are even
Yeah,
being in the Web3 space, right?
yeah.
So really useful for each project doing like doing whatever, like in Web2, Web3, like what. But yeah, really useful. We do have one question.
Hmm.
Uh, it is, I don't think it is related to workshop, but yeah, he's asking about, Mr. Board is asking about my Metis. I think he means Metis. My Metis is on the MetaMask and it's staying there for more than a year. I would love to make a use, maybe lock my Metis and earn something rather than just staying there, but I'm scared of scams. So can you recommend a legit site?
Yeah. So I'm not sure if Metis has any sort of staking for you, like directly from the chain. Traditionally, right? These kinds of things are, hey, you really want to do your due diligence
Yeah.
on staking sites. Um, I don't have a recommendation for staking Metis, MetaMask. Yeah,
Mhm.
my honest opinion would be, hey, reach out to Metis, see if they have
Yeah.
anyone or any kind of recommendations for that.
Yeah, you can I mean, yeah, he probably have asked me, but yeah, you can reach out us to Metis developer groups in Telegram, where we can discuss it more if possibly. Y-
Yeah, yeah.
I hope is that answer that his question. All good. So yeah, we are already 1 hour, and I'd like to thank you, Joe, personally, that for having this amazing workshop with us. We are going to have one, like few more with Joe in the next few months. So I'm sorry, mark your calendars. We're gonna live every Thursday, same time. So for a few weeks, I mean, yeah, we'll keep doing this. So thank you
Mhm.
so much for this amazing workshop. If you guys have anything, doubts or anything, comments or any questions, feel free to join us as I mean a Metis on a Telegram group, Metis Developer, which is, and also if you have anything any issues or doing any questions or feedback for the Thirdweb or integration of a Thirdweb and a Metis, feel free to reach out to us. We can help and we always try to provide help as much as we can. By I mean, trying connecting direct you guys with the Thirdweb, so it can be really helpful for you. Thank you so much for this amazing workshop. Thank you all of you to joining this workshop, and please leave a feedback if you want us to improve anything and if you want to show more on the next workshops, like anything, particular topics or anything. We would like to hear your feedback from you. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Take care.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.